We are going to Elbaf, and our friends Dorry and Brogy are taking us. It wasn't the Blackbeard pirates that showed up, neither was it the Revolutionary Army. It was the captains of the giant warrior pirates who came through clutch, proclaiming, "We have come to pick up Straw Hat."
Note that they didn't say save or rescue, they said pick up. And what happens when someone picks you up?
It means the picker-upper is taking you somewhere. Stick around and find out why it's most likely Elbaf.
Serious question. Vegapunk, is he actually dead?
We finally have someone who has information on the Void Sentry, and if only we could just get him off Egghead, he obviously was going to spill the tea. There is absolutely no way that Frankie meets Dr. Vegapunk and doesn't get a major power.
I will protest if Vegapunk is actually dead. I'm not buying it. Please, Oda, don't do this to us. But if he is dead,
at least he told Bonnie that Luffy is indeed Sun God Nika. You guessed it, we have just doubled up on Gear 5th users. And if Bonnie wasn't already super overpowered, she now has authority over all pacifistas. Do you remember last chapter when Saturn was talking all kinds of smack about how Kuma was the height of folly and how he and Bonnie were going to get clapped by his clones?
Well, Saturn, look who's the dumb one now. Were your parents also first cousins who got things wrong all the time? Let's talk ancient robot.
I could have sworn this guy woke up in chapter 1092 right after Luffy switched into Gear 5th for the first time on Egghead and then grabbed Kizaru like an abusive husband. And then he did it again this chapter, right after Luffy made his Gear 5th comeback and punched Kizaru.
Boom, right there.
Could it be the ancient robot activates every time Luffy beats on Kizaru? Or he activates whenever Sun God Nika is present? It's most likely the second option. And if it is, could Mr. Robot be an ancient guardian of the Sun God Nika? Tell me what you think. Nearly 1,000 chapters and 100 years later, Dorry and Brogy squash their beef to save the Straw Hats and declare an emergency pickup for Luffy, who they acknowledge as the Sun God Nika.
Let's take a trip down memory lane.
To when we first arrived in Little Garden, the second island in the Grand Line, a completely different world from the last.
Wow.
And then Dorry and Brogy showed up like,
what? There are giants here?
Their bounties were 100 million berries. It may not seem like much now, but if you take in the fact that it was set over 100 years ago and account for bounty inflation, it's got to be in the billions now. What if their 100-year duel was never about the size of their catch, but it was a test of fate, a way
to find the one true warrior to help the prophecy Sun God.
Consider the Giants' culture steeped in honor, battle, and the Elbafian belief in a warrior's destiny. Their endless fight could have been a sacred rite foretold by Elbaf seers to identify the guardian of the Sun God. And now, with Luffy's emergence as Nika, their sudden ceasefire, and the arrival to aid him isn't just a coincidence, it's destiny fulfilled. Perhaps their argument over the catch was intentionally trivial, a guise for a deeper, secret pact made to protect the one who will usher in the dawn. If Dorry and Brogy were indeed waiting for the Sun God, it would suggest a larger network of allies bound by fate 10 toes down, ready to converge for the final saga.
Hello, subscribe.